oi, oi. It's Monday again, and it's another weekend one for Arsenal. And we've got the OGs to talk all the way through it, haven't we? Of course, we've got DJB, we've got Shane, and we've got the geezer Normski. But firstly, of course, DJB, man, how was your weekend, bro?
Yeah, it was all good. It was a good weekend. I mean, Liverpool dropping points, City dropping points, Spurs won, but we give them that. You got to have one challenger, I suppose, isn't you? Other than Sunderland and Bournemouth, So yeah, and then we capitalised. We got 3 points. Football spectacle, absolutely awful. Boring game. Yeah, really awful to watch. But it was 3 points, and if you keep taking 3 points, then long may it continue. At the moment, it's all good. It's all good. Defensively solid. The fullbacks are doing really, really well, so that's having a huge contribution to how we're playing. But still some question marks in the final third for me, Aaron, on the attacking front. But yeah, all good. Always a pleasure. This one of my favourite shows. Sharing it with an Normski and Shane and yourself. So big up to everyone and the world-class chat, as you would say.
Yeah, man. Now, wicked. And it's always a pleasure to have you. You know that. And Shane, man, how you been, bud? Good weekend?
Yeah, all good, man. Can't complain. Kids are off school this week, so not getting up to do the school runs and things like that. So yeah, all good. Can't complain. Busy with work. And Arsenal top of the league. Up near the top of the Champions League, and yeah, it's all good. Obviously, we can nitpick, which we will do. As I often say over and over again, if you want to win leagues, you have to nitpick. You have to concentrate on that 10% that's not right. And to be honest with you, I think there's about 25% minimum that's not right. We're just living on a prayer. In my opinion, we're living on a prayer. It can improve. If it does, we can run away with it. But we'll get into all that. But listen, big up for having me on.
Yeah, man.
Love this show. Love Normski. Love DJB. You're all right. And the world-class chat.
I'll take all right. I'll take all right. Listen, that's a compliment from where I'm at, man. Thank you very much. I mean, Suja probably in the chat soon, talking absolute fucking shite and saying some nasty shit. So I'll take all right all day long, man. That's a win. That's a win. I'll have that. And Normski, you've had had a bit of a work going on to the house, haven't you?
It's been a mazza, mate. So listen, apologise to Shane, missing your breakfast shows, man. But listen, I'm gonna fill up on those. Don't worry about it. I'll be filling up on your breakfast shows. It's just been crazy. Just moved back to the property because we had some major work done on the house and stuff like that. So it's just been manic, absolutely manic, even today, up to today. But listen, it's been a great weekend. Got to say that it's been a great. We're doing the Lord's work, feeding the homeless. So really happy to be, doing that and getting involved with the communities there. And also, listen, Arsenal. Listen, they're doing well. Another win. Wasn't the prettiest win, but at the end of the day, we're top of the league. And listen, I'm going to say this now. It's too soon to dream. Yeah, it's too soon to dream. But I hope it doesn't end in a nightmare. That's all I was going to say. Right. There's a lot of guys getting a little bit hyper, getting a little bit happy. We're 8 games in. Let's just calm down, press the brakes, as Shane would say, put the old reins on the horse, and let's just take it easy, game by game. I think it's 3 down, 2 to go. Shane said 5 games, then we'll see what the next 5 games bring. It's looking good at the moment. Yeah, we might be set piece FC. Is it sustainable? Who knows? I'm sure we're going to tackle it tonight. So let's go. Let's go. World class.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's it. And I just wanted to say as well to the world-class chat, big up to you. Smash a like on the stream. And don't forget, the legend Vigilante has put everyone's link. So that is pinned. Make sure you sub to all these guys if you aren't already. But big up the Vigilante. Big up the COYG as well, man. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. Gavin, we got Tyrell Gunner in there. Topside Ivory, Lynch. What a geezer. We got Gavin in the building. We got who's that? We got Carl Walsh in the building. Big up to you. What an absolute legend. Gunnar. Yeah, man. Big up to anyone that I've missed. But yeah, legend Kyle, man. Big up. Always a pleasure to see you in here, man. Come on. Gunnar in the building. Big up. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, Suja's here. We'll grab that actually now, before we rock into there, because I don't want to leave it waiting. But big up to the team who broke back Fluffer, who spits on hot dogs before eating them, thinks showers is optional. Adam. That's me, Stinky Adam. Colossal Thunderbum Sean, and of course the legendary DJB, Normski, and the chat. And he's saying hit the likes and subscribe. Sue just said it, so you may as well do it. Big up to you, Sue. Hope you're well. You fucker from down under. Big up to you, my geezer. And yeah, I'm going to start off with the league table looking quite rosy. First, of course, we got Bournemouth and Spurs and Sunderland as our main challengers. But is the way we're playing sustainable? We'll come to DJB first, but here's a different table that BBC tried doing. You may have all seen it before, I don't know. But it's a table that is only from open play goals. So this not including, of course, set pieces, not including penalties, etc., which has Arsenal sitting fifth. Is the way we're playing, DJB, over a 38 game a season sustainable? Can we keep winning games by these set pieces? Or if you look there, we're still fifth, 3 points behind. Is it sustainable, DJB?
It's only sustainable if everything is in place. So it's only sustainable if you've got your talisman fit, which is Declan Rice. And the reason why I say talisman is because he takes the set pieces that scores us the goals. So if he's fit and he stays fit, if everything is in place, then it can be sustainable, because right now we're not conceding anything. We're not letting teams in. The fullbacks are looking solid, so we're not getting the overloads down the flanks, and teams are frightened to come at us at the moment. So yeah, it is sustainable if everything stays in place. And what I mean by that, it has to be flawless every single week, game in and game out. Now, the flip side of that is, realistically, can that happen throughout the course of a season? Champions League, Carabao Cups, FA Cups, etc., etc. No, it can't. So if something breaks down, then the challenges are there, whether that's sustainable or not. And what I mean by if something breaks down, Rice gets injured, Gabriel gets injured, Timber gets injured. Yeah, Saka you could probably cope with because you got, players Madueke and people like that, but not Saka long term. But definitely on the defensive side of things, because that's why we're top at the moment. We're not top because we're playing beautiful, attractive football. We're not top because our final third and our attacking prowess is absolutely spot on. We're top because defensively, we're very, 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 very good. So if Gabriel gets injured, if we get an injury to Rice, if we get an injury to Timber, then it's not sustainable. Then plan B comes into play. Well, plan B is, how are we going to score other than set pieces? And at the moment, Aaron, from what I've seen personally, and this ain't a negative because I'm absolutely buzzing that we're top of the league and we've pulled all them points clear. This is just us talking about football. That's why it's a football channel. We're talking about certain things. At the moment, I'm going to be honest with you, from what I've seen in the attacking third, is pretty poor. It's pretty poor. Is a lack of... If you was to take your kind of euphoria of sitting top and being all these points clear of Liverpool and we've got the best defence, and look at it as an attacking third week in and week out, we've been pretty poor. We lack a lot of ideas going forward. Saka's in and out the game. Zubimendi ain't really breaking the lines. Rice is having to cover Zubimendi a lot. Gyökeres is just kind of bullying everyone, but not really. He's running his nuts off, but when he does get the ball, he ain't really doing anything with it, and he's not really creative. He's not busting a gut to get into the box to try and score, get on the end of something. The crosses are not coming in with any real quality at open play. And Trossard and that is sort of in and out on the left, so we still haven't got a left-handed side. So, yeah, on one hand, it's brilliant that we're top. On the other hand, it is sustainable. But there's a lot of things that have to go our way for that to be sustainable. Yeah. And that is a full squad, full 11 every week. No injuries. Keeping Rice not injured, because he's the only one that puts in any decent ball from corners and free kicks. Yeah. If you take all that away, then we need to find other ways to score goals. And at the moment, the way we're playing in that final third, we're struggling to score goals freely. You know, we're not Bournemouth, we're not Spurs, we're not scoring goals freely. So that's the worry. That is the worry. So, yeah, you know, let's keep our feet on the ground and let's hope all of those things stay in place for it to be sustainable. If it's not, it's going to be very, very interesting come what, January, February, March.
Yeah. Now, Faxon, do you know what the word you used there was? Hope. And
yeah,
when that, I kind of get you. I'm totally with you. But hope is out of our hands, isn't it? And that's what we see from Mikel Arteta, because we have to hope, because we're not certain, we're not guaranteed. Why? Because he's not done it yet, has he?
Yeah,
That's exactly why.
Exactly. I mean, look at it there. Look, open play goals 5. I mean, that, and I said it on Lee's show earlier. That's the worry for me.
Yeah.
And these are all the facts that what you put up here that get overlooked because we're sitting top, because we're points clear, because we're way ahead. Everyone forgets about the actual football side of things. And I'll be honest with you, I was bored out my head at the Emirates the weekend. I thought the game was absolutely awful. Yeah, really was poor, really poor. And for me, that's the worry. That's the worry there. Open play goals. Because if Plan A goes out the window, set piece FC, I've not seen enough Plan B. So, you know, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Now, facts. And do you know what as well, Shane, while I bring you in, mate? There's a lot of things there for Mikel to mess up now. So far, he's made probably more right decisions than wrong. I mean, you've got to the top of the Premier League, but there's still a lot that he's done wrong when you sort of factor in all the bits in and around each individual game, etc., etc. And like what DJB was saying, we hope Declan Rice stays fit. That's all down to how he manages him. Now, we've heard he's got a little bit of a knock, but I don't know if anyone else knows more than I do. I don't know the severity of the injury, and maybe we won't until his press conference tomorrow before Brighton. But he's a massive player, isn't he, Declan Rice? But that's all down to how Mikel manages him. He didn't need to play 90 minutes against Atletico, did he? And he gets a little knock again. This is the problem that we have going forward. Manager is going to be a big old issue, isn't he, bud?
Yeah, well, look, the thing is, the issues that we are worried about are all things he's never learned. The stubbornness that you know, you've heard me call him the famous 5, the Rice, Zubimendi, Rice, Saka, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, are 5 most important players. Now people will say, oh well, then he can't really rotate them if there are 5 most important players, but he can. You know what I mean? He can, because you look at Pep Guardiola. He rested Bernardo Silva for their league match, not the one they lost, the one before, but that they won, and he's his captain. You know, he does it with Haaland. He runs him into the ground. If Haaland goes down, I'll have no sympathy for him. I'll go, well, you've run him into the ground. You know, that's your fault. You've run him into the ground. But Haaland covers fuck all ground. You know what I mean? Haaland isn't running the way Rice probably runs more in one match than Haaland does in 3 or 4 combined. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. You know what I mean? He isn't harrying everybody. I heard a stat today. I think that Gyökeres is covering 20% more ground in every game than he did at Sporting, and he's still not scoring. How's he doing it? From just running around chasing defenders. So the thing is with Rice, and me and DJB have been insisting on this, if he goes down for longer than a week or 2, we're fucked. We're gone. We're done. Yeah. Because people say, oh, no, we've got this. We've got the squad depth. Have we got someone that covers Zubimendi? Zubimendi was awful against Palace, by the way. Absolutely awful. He gave the ball away 3 or 4 times that another team would have punished you. In the first half, he just blindly played a left-footed pass out to Calafiori, and it was cut out. Because in Spain, he doesn't have to worry about a winger bursting forward to close down. He can just blindly play a pass sideways, and there's nobody near the other player. So he'll learn that stuff over time. But these mistakes will get cut out. And Rice has come back and covered him so many times. And I keep saying this. The ironic thing is that our most important player is our most important player because he's covering so much ground, and that will probably be what leads him to an injury. Now, he got a knock. It looked like a knock in the Palace game because he kept pointing and saying, like, at the end of the pitch, that's where it happened, sort of thing. But I think he's got 2 or 3 injuries anyway. You know, that's because he's holding his back. He's gassed out after 60 minutes in every game. Like Saki's always limping, Timber's always limping. Like these guys are walking wounded, man. You know what I mean? So when I look at the whole rotation thing, that could be what will come to bite this guy. Because do not be surprised at all if Saka starts against Brighton. There's a good chance he'll start. He was ill before that game, and he was terrible against Palace because he wasn't right. I mean, if you're really sick and you have to go into work, like you're only at about 60%. It's just not possible to push past it. Just start Wanyeri, man. You know what I mean? Or start Martinelli out the right. You have to. Why are you starting him? He's sick. Like, why are you doing it? And you know what? When your head's foggy like that, you could leave a leg in, or you could pick up an injury because you're just not right. And if you like if you go into work and you're like sick or hungover, whatever the case may be, same sort of feeling. I used to go into the kitchens, you'd burn your hand, or you know what I mean, because you're not paying attention. And it's just that the squad management is an issue with this guy, and it will be what comes back to bite him. And I've said it. I think by sort of January, February period, we need to be about 15 points clear for me to feel comfortable. So this guy, when he starts to blow it, and we've said this before, when Odegaard comes back, he's starting. We know he's starting. Eze's out, man, when he comes back. Even if Eze's banging in goals, there's no way he's going to say, sorry, Martin, you have the whole bench. It's not going to happen. No, he'll find a way to shoehorn him back in. He'll find a way to shoehorn Havertz back in. And is it sustainable? No, 5 goals from open play is not sustainable. Last year, we started going off on one with corners, and we were scoring corners every second week and banging in corners. That's when the talk started. It was before this season, set piece, ole, and all that. There was a period of about 15 games when we didn't score from a corner or a set piece. It dried up, right? That can happen again, and it will happen again. Yeah. It'll happen again. There's no plan B whatsoever. We had our first shot, not just on target, our first shot against Palace after 31 minutes. You know what I mean?
Terrible.
I was saying this all day on my stream and other streams. If I was a manager, and most managers probably do, in the first few minutes, just ping off a shot, get the crowd going. Because this bollocks of turning off TVs at halftime and making sure people are in their seats, you cannot force an atmosphere. You can't do it. You can't force an atmosphere is organic. It's a natural thing.
Yeah.
Why was the atmosphere so good in 22-23? Because we were just constantly running at defenders and taking them on, and that's what a crowd gets entertained by that stuff. Why are Liverpool's crowd so good? Because they always play frantic football. They're always attacking. There's always something happening. No, but we need to be. Look, I said it today on my stream that we have the best defense in the world, right? And you all know that it takes a lot for me to say someone's the best in the world, or world class, or whatever. But we do have the best defense in the world, right? But I can't. What I said was currently the best defense in the world, but I want to see this defense keep all these clean sheets when the other 6 players are attacking. That's what I want to see. Then let them keep clean sheets, because the Invincibles defense kept clean sheets when everybody, including Patrick Vieira and Gilberto Silva, charged forward. You know what I mean? When you have a bank of 4 in front of you, it's very easy to keep clean sheets. Sean Dyche will keep clean sheets at Forest. You can be sure of that. They'll keep clean sheets because he'll have 2 banks of 4. So all the stuff about being top, fine. Liverpool won 7 in a row when they're in bits, which means that if half of their players that are out of form, and there's about 7 of their players that are out of form, if half of them hit form, they can go off on one again. City can go off on one. It's far from done. And everything will come down to this manager. And I'll finish on this. I've been saying this to anyone who listen that's on our side of the fence, if you want to call it that. We should just relax, because we can't lose this year. As fans, we can't lose, because either we end up with a league or a Champions League, or he gets sacked. So we win at the end of this season. No matter what, we win, because either our club wins a big one or we get rid of the manager. With the top Gooners, there's a chance that they get the worst thing ever. No trophies, and their Lord and Saviour is gone. Right? So we win either way. You know what I mean? We get what we want either way. And so we should just relax. But it's just frustrating because the football's so terrible. If God came down to me and said, you're going to win the league with this, I go, great, I'll sit back and enjoy it then. But with not knowing and having to watch this shit to get there, I'm sorry, mate, it's not sustainable. It's the 5 goals from open play is not sustainable. So if we can click attacking wise, fine. But I don't think we will. I don't think this manager has it in him to go into games and smash teams. He is obsessed with clean sheets. He's obsessed with silly records that mean nothing. And he's one of these guys that's probably looking at the Chelsea record more than winning the league and going, oh, if I can beat that defensive record, So this is the type of shit that he does. So look, if we can carry on, but Saliba's ankle injuries played up again. Timber's going to drop at some point, and if Rice drops, we're done. We are done. And he's not a machine. He has to drop at some point. He's been run into the ground by this manager.
Well, apparently,
Yeah.
apparently Rice. Sorry to interrupt you, my friends, but apparently Rice had a knock, was feeling something in the first half of the game. Apparently, according to reports, and apparently they're looking into calf or possible Achilles.
Right, and the Saliba
Now,
is 2 injuries apparently.
if it's Achilles, and he sent him out in the second half. So again, there you go.
So it's still one of them is still the ankle injury, DJ, from fucking Anfield.
Yeah. So if Rice goes with Achilles, that's weeks. So and then you've lost your goals because he's the one that assists
and the
He's
defensive. He's the one that covers Supermendi as well. So you've lost both.
And he's the one that's knitting everything all together. So
but he played
the most
99
important
minutes
player
against Atletico, guys, and he played the full match and he played the full because this is it's
we were
infuriating.
3-4-0 up after like 70 odd minutes. Why is he on the field?
Why is he playing
Saka
Saka when he's got an illness? When he's got Wanyeri on the bench? Why?
But even against Atletico, DJ, he took Eze off. He took Eze off, who needs minutes in his legs because he hasn't been starting, and he left Rice on. The guy is a lunatic. So if we do not win this, it has to come back to him. It's the only non-variable is this fucking guy will cause us not to. If we don't win it, he should never work again. He should never work again if we don't win it.
And this is the issue, and I'll bring you in, Norms, on this. Declan Rice, obviously, as we've been saying, massively overplayed. We've got a game via Brighton coming up in the league, in the Carabao Cup, sorry. We don't want him to play that, of course, but he's got to start managing his minutes because 20th goals from open play, that's no good. That is absolutely no good. Of course, first from set piece goals, absolutely well and truly, mostly because of Declan Rice's delivery. It's unbelievable. The consistency of that delivery is constantly hampering all the other teams, and they don't know how to deal with it. If he gets injured for, like we've been saying, even for 4 match days, we could see this swing around very, very, very quickly. And it's all down to how Mikel manages the squad. What do you reckon on all of this? Open plays.
I mean, look, you've all sort of made very good points. And, you know, this fact about it being sustainable, as you rightly say, if Declan Rice is out, that's one of our key weapons that we've lost straight away because there's nobody that can put a ball in, you know, in the mix like Declan Rice. And then obviously you've got the situation with Saliba, Ewan, Timber. You know what I mean? These guys, look, they're ready to check out if he carries on playing and running them into the ground. That is the worry for me. It's about, as you say, it's about managing the minutes, and he needs to manage it properly. You go back to the Atletico Madrid game. You know, as you said, after 70 minutes, you're 4-0 up. At this point, you take Saka off, you take Declan Rice off. Yeah, bring on Ethan running. What is it that Ethan's got to do to get a game? I mean, even on Saturday, listen, yeah, it was one of the boring game. Do you know what I mean? Great goal by Eze, but again, Ethan left on the bench. You know, he's obviously brought on more defensive-minded players to see out the game. But you know, you're playing at home, and you bring Saka off. Bring on Ethan. You know, bring on Ethan because you know what I mean. He can bring. He's the sort of guy that you know what I mean. He can pick up the ball and run and attack the space and stuff like that. So for me, you need to bring this guy in and let him play. And you know, you're knocking his confidence by leaving him on the bench. I mean, in terms of the as I said in my earlier statement, like listen, we can dream, yeah, but you know, we can dream, but let's not dream too soon, as I say, because as I say, this could all fall apart and end in one big nightmare. Yeah, there's a lot of factors in this season in terms of what needs to happen. And I think at the start of the show, Shane said, look, at the end of the day, we're top of the league, but we still need to look at those 25% and see what Mikel Arteta's not doing right, and some of the players, obviously, that are involved in there. So you look at our attack. Our attack is not, you know, firing as it should, because we can see it from open play. You know, 5 goals. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? And the problem is that if the Declan Rice is out or the set pieces dry up, are we able to click up to the next gear and start playing some kind of football, some sort of transitional football, and playing the 1-2s and stuff like that? Because as I said, that first half, Literally, I mean, the whole game in itself was absolutely boring. Literally falling asleep because it's just the system and what Arteta wants. He's going into games. We know it. He's going into games to make sure that I mean, he's obsessed about clean sheets. You know, he speaks about it in his press conferences. You know, the stats are coming out. You know, again, we've gone and beaten another record. Listen, I want to see football. Listen, yeah, we might concede. We got a great defense there. That's the thing about it. We got a great foundation of a defense there. So why not can't the attacking players go out and express themselves? They've done it before, not with obviously the same lot of players, because back in 22-23 season, we didn't have that kind of defense compared to the defense we got now. So we need to build on that, and Arteta has to trust the players. I feel, listen, Gyökeres, look, Arteta likes him because at the moment, because he's just running up and down and chasing after ball. But at some point, he's going to break down as well. Do you know what I mean? And that will open the door for Kai Havertz to come back in. And yeah, here we go. Here we go. 758 minutes. You can
League
see
only, by the way.
Right. So yeah, Victor, he's not a technical player. He's not brilliant on the eye. And you know, watching that game, I think there was a ball Trossard had, and he literally just stood still at the edge of the 18-yard box. I'm thinking, you need to get in there. I know we're not creating because we don't create as much. That's one of the things that Arsenal lack, creativity at the moment. We're not creating for our forward line. But at the same time, Victor has to help himself as well, because when Trossard picked that ball up and made the crossing, there was nobody there. I think Saka tried to get there but got there late. I think it was Saka or Eze, I can't remember, because he's not making those runs. And it's one of two things: the system, but also he has to pick up the game. As a footballer's paid a lot of money, he has to learn the system as well. So for me, it's not sustainable in terms of getting set pieces every week, because as I say, your key players like Declan Rice, if Gabriel Magalhaes gets injured, you know what I mean, then you know that's where we're gonna suffer. So they're gonna have to think about how they're gonna break down, you know, these low blocks. I mean, look, other teams can do it. Why can't we do it? Do you know what I'm trying to say? What is it that? Why is it? What is stopping us from breaking down these low blocks? And it's because it's the way we play football currently at this moment. Do you know what I mean? We play far too slow, and so therefore teams are able to get back in their position, and then it's a case of right, how how are we going to actually get through them? And a lot of it is dependent on if the ball goes out for a throw or it goes out for a corner, or we get a free kick, then everybody gets happy. That should be the case. Should we go into a game, DJB? Should we go into a game and watch an exciting football, not waiting for? I mean, it seems as if the crowd is waiting for a set piece to happen to really cut for it, which is just ridiculous. And I mean, the atmosphere, just watching it on TV, I don't know how you felt about it, DJB, but just watching it on TV, you could tell the atmosphere was just dead.
Oh, it was awful. Yeah, it was flat, really flat.
Yeah, it was absolutely flat.
There was people leaving on the 75th minute, 78th minute.
Well, painful what?
Right. So yeah, it's a painful what. But yeah, look, we can't continue just relying on set pieces. It's a good weapon to have, but we really need to step up in terms of getting that first scare. And I said it last week on your show that at the moment we're very much stuck in first scare. And it seems as if the clutch has gone and it just won't go anywhere. So at the moment, they need to sort it and sort it quickly. You've got to be able to, especially when you're at home. You're playing at home. Bring the game, take the game to them. Why are you worried? Take the game to. You've got a great defense. Yeah, we've got the best defense in the world as it stands. Listen, we have to say it, but it's the attack, the midfield. Zubimendi, listen, when he gets pressed, especially in this league, you know, when he was playing against Atletico Madrid, he looked great, but against Premier League, he doesn't have the time. He's giving the ball away. And that is the worry for me. So he's got to learn quickly as well. We saw it. We said it at the start of the season that he will get pressed. and that Declan Rice will be doing a lot of running for this guy. And as you see, he's been doing a lot of running, and he looks absolutely knackered after like half an hour. You know, he's absolutely blowing. Do you know what I mean? Both ends. You know what I mean? So let's see what happens going forward. But listen, great, we are top of the league, but is it sustainable? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we've got to do a little bit more. I mean, when you look at our front three, you've obviously got Victor Gyökeres, Bukayo Saka, and either of Leandro Trossard or Martinelli makes no difference. They've got the same output. You know, that's 6 goals, and 2 of them are penalties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 4 goals after 9 games in your whole entire front three that aren't penalties. I mean, that's no good. I mean, Haaland's doing that in 2 games. So you could almost make the case of, is City's title race sustainable without Haaland?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. Maybe not. They've still got other excellent players. But most importantly, we need to focus on ourselves. And when I'm looking at these stats, it's not really pretty reading, is it? When you think you've spent all this money on Victor Gyökeres, and we always say about Bukayo Saka, we know he's not right anyway, but he needs, if he's carried us, let's get this right, Bukayo Saka has carried us for the vast majority of Mikel Arteta's career. I think that's fair to say, but he's never really done that Mo Salah season. You know, that title-winning season where he scores 20 plus, where he's, you know, that match winner. If he's our star boy, he needs to step up this season, and for him, you know,
he's not allowed though, Aaron, with the tactics.
Yeah,
he can't have a season like that.
It's like Eze. We ain't seen the Palace at Eze, have we? We're seeing.
You won't either.
You know, what I'm seeing from Eze is kind of hesitant. He's hesitant all the time. He gets the ball and he's like, shall I take him on?
He's restricted,
or shall I just pass it sideways?
He's thinking it. He's overthinking everything.
He's overthinking it because he's looking at like, oh, where shall I pass it? Rather than just playing with freedom, he's kind of he's double taking all the time. He's just saying, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And this is what I mean. And he knows Odegaard's going to come straight back in that 10. He knows he hasn't really done enough to take Odegaard out the 10. So he knows that's happening. So that's in the back of his mind as well. And this is what I'm saying. I mean, people going on about Victor Gyökeres and 2 goals against Atleti and all of that. I mean, come on. He was sort of running into the box and he hit him on the thigh. He scored 2 good goals and fantastic. But I mean, I just don't. When I'm sitting there now, it's such a relief when we do score a set piece, because other than that, I can't see where the goals are coming from. You know, when you play against decent teams, I mean, like Palace, and you know, we got Sunderland away. That's going to be a tough game. That won't be easy. Burnley, you've got all these sort of games coming up now, and it's quite frightening to think that after 9 games, we are really struggling to score goals in the final third in open play. Because we all know that we went on that run where we weren't scoring set pieces. We went on that load, you know, I think we scored against Fulham, didn't we? And then we went sort of loads of games where we didn't score one set piece. Now, if that happens again...
And it will, DJ, it's a guarantee.
It happen with a few injuries. Suddenly that league table can change, because believe it or not, it might not look it at the moment, all doom and gloom for Liverpool and City's a bit inconsistent and all that. But them players have got over the line. They've got the experience to go, come on, what are we fucking doing here? They've got the experience to go on a 3 and 4, 5 game unbeaten stretch easily.
Well, Man City do it when they get to that second half of the season. They almost turn into a different animal.
Exactly. Now, if we're not scoring other than set pieces, then we've got to rely on the defence. And the only way we can keep that solid defence is if we get them out every week. We've got Saliba playing, that's fit. Gabriel's that fit. And they're all fit. If they're not, then it's a whole different ball game. So, you just have to look at the realistic side of things sorry.
And wait, go.
Crack on and then I'll move.
It's just with what DJ said about Gyökeres. Like, all of his goals have come when the games have been won. The 2 against Atletico, we were 2-0 up. The ones against Leeds, the game was done. You know what I mean? So he's getting chances when the other team are flattened. And if you look at, he's had 19 shots. That's it. That's 2 a game. 2 shots a game for a 50 goal a season striker.
And they've not been brilliant shots, Shane. Guaranteed.
No, they haven't. They haven't, because he's been shooting from tight angles and he's been snapping off shots. When, you know, a player like him needs to have 7, 8 chances, you know, to put them away. He's not Haaland. He's not Haaland. He can't go half an hour without touching the ball and know that when he gets it,
do you think he's trying too hard, Shane? Do you think he's trying?
He is trying too hard. Of course, he is.
He's trying to make his own. He's trying to make his own goals.
Remember when Andy Cole signed for United for all that money and he couldn't hit a barn door? He was missing open goals. He was missing everything. And Gary Pallister took him aside and said, "Just relax. One of them's going to go in off your arse or something, and you'll go off on one." Then he got one, and he just went off on one. But Andy Cole was another. I remember Glenn Hoddle wouldn't pick him. He said he needs too many chances to score, right? But he got a lot of chances, more than other players, because he could sniff out a chance, right? So he did miss a few, but Andy Cole is still up there in the top Premier League scorers of all time, and he only ever took 1 penalty. Right? So he was a phenomenal goal scorer, but he needed plenty of chances. Gyökeres needs chances. He needs to be able to, because he's an Alan Shearer finisher. He doesn't place the ball. He just puts his laces through it every time. He's clean through. He just puts his laces through it. So sometimes it'll ping off, but he needs repetition. He needs to keep getting chances, and he'll never get them under this manager. All these Talkunas laughed at me and DJB on the roundabout when we said he'd be lucky to get 15. Oh, you're so negative. You're so negative. He'd be lucky to get 10 at this rate. He'd be lucky to get 10 at this rate. It should have been in his contract that he takes penalties, not because I want him to. I don't give a shit about that. It's because his penalty record is astronomical. I think he's missed 1 of his last 20 or something, you know. So he's a good penalty taker. And he's a confidence player. He needs to be banging in goals to keep. He's one of those. If he scores and then he scores in the next game, then he'll go off on one. And Jamie Vardy, like, he'll score 6, 7 in a row. But he'll never succeed under this manager. Like, I think we've had in our entire front line, and I'm talking about all the subs as well, I think they've had more injuries than goals since December. And that's outrageous. Like, how can you win a league with that? Oh, we used to say we can't win the league with no number 9 in 22-23 because Jesus dropped off. But Martinelli got 15 and Saka got 15. But now if you're going... Odegaard got a few. So if you're going, okay, well, Martinelli might end up with 6 and Trossard with 5 and Saka with 8 and Gyökeres with 10. It should be impossible to win the league. You know what I mean? It should be.
I mean, he's literally, because that's what's happened. You just mentioned that, Shane, the fact that back then, you know, you had Martinelli scoring 15, what's his name, scoring...
Saka and Odegaard both got 15, I think, as well. Yeah.
It's because of this PTSD that this manager's had, and completely changed the way these guys have played. So it's more, they're more thinking more defensive mind. You know, it's more, make sure you don't go and lose, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the slow build up. And then what happens is that they're not able to break down the opposition, and it becomes frustrating. So, you know, this conversation that, conversation he brought up in his press conference that about 10 years ago, you know, he had a dream, like Martin Luther King.
What was that?
Oh, Martin Luther Arteta.
I nearly wet myself, you know? I mean,
he takes credit for everything, though. For everything.
I'm going to say, listen, look, and football is evolving. Evolving what? To playing this type of football? Is this what we're dealing with? And it's almost like he's wanting to take. It's like he's taking credit for everybody's taking long throws. No.
We haven't scored one, by the way, Norms. Not one. We haven't scored from one long throw, so it's pointless us doing them. Not one have we scored from.
Exactly. So, and the thing about it is, like, if we continue to play like this and we end up not being sustainable, what more than often than not, what will happen is that we will probably, because we've got such a good defense, the chances are we'll end up drawing more games than we'll probably lose. Which is, you're probably better to lose one game, win, lose one game, rather than drawing. Because last season we drew 14 games. 14 games we drew. Yeah,
that's mad.
Dropping, you know, 21 points from winning positions. That's because it dried up. The set pieces dried up. Yeah. Even with Declan Rice in the side, it dried up. So can you imagine when he's out of the side, what's going to happen? So he has to find another way to coach these guys to play attacking football. and play against these low blocks and play. He's got to say to the whether it's him or not, but these players sometimes have to just take the ball by their horns and just play this quick 1-2 football. Because if you play quick 1-2 football, yeah, because teams won't come up, because if they come at us, we'll beat them. But the thing is, if they always, every team that's coming to the Emirates now is sitting in a low block, and it literally means that all we can rely on, because we can't break them down, because Arteta don't want us. He don't want us to take chances. That's what he don't want us to be risky, just in case we lose the ball. Because sometimes what happens is that if you've got a good counter-attacking team like Crystal Palace, and a couple of times they counted on us, it's just that if they had their shooting boots, so it could have been a different story. Yeah, because we get caught out. So he's just making sure that everybody's in their position, in the right place. That because we stifle teams. But the problem is we can't break down teams, because it's literally. It's literally.
But this has been going on for seasons.
He's getting paid.
This low block, this not being able to break down teams, has been going on for a good few years now. But I mean, Palace didn't really sit that deep in the first half.
No,
Palace
they were better than us. They came out for half more than us.
So,
the commentators were saying Palace deserve a goal more than Arsenal.
Yeah,
they had more of the ball.
Palace played really, really well first half, so they weren't really sitting deep, and we still didn't put it on them. We still run out of ideas. Gyökeres was running the channels, then he was getting the ball, then he was fluffing it. Saka was off it, as we all know why, because he was sick. He should never have been in the team in the first place. Trossard does what Trossard does.
We played like an away team, didn't we?
Well, this is what I'm saying, Aaron. This is what I'm saying, Aaron. Look, the problem is everything now is best in the world, best in Europe. We've won the league. It's won at a canter. Liverpool's fallen off. The wheels have fallen off of this one. City's not consistent. This is happening. That's happening. That's happening. Okay, fine. Well, what happens then when our set pieces dry up and we've got to think about scoring goals from elsewhere? What then? What then?
We draw nil all, yeah.
What then when it's 0-0? And we need 6 points to win the league in our last 3 games, and it's 0-0, and we're at the Etihad at Man City. What do we do? Donnarumma's coming and punching all the corners away and the free kicks away like he did at the Emirates.
Yeah.
What then?
We needed a moment, didn't we?
You know, we need
a bit of magic.
We need Gyökeres, that striker that we paid 70 odd million for to go and bag goals. Yeah,
but by that stage of the match, he's absolutely shattered from closing down all the time.
We need him to come and rifle one in the net when he's only had like 5-6 shots all season and scored about 10 goals. Come what March, you know, he's still only sort of scoring 12, 14 goals. But we need it now. We need him to step up. Oh, but he can't step up because he's not been used right all season. Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. So there is a long, long way to go. And the problem is what people don't understand. They go, oh, you're negative. Why don't you back the manager? We have backed the manager, but unfortunately, we've been scarred by this bloke in the past. It's not been an easy ride. We've seen him, what he's done to the fans and how he's messed up transfers and how he's gone to semi-finals and he's picked the wrong team or his tactics ain't changed and he's not got over the line. We've seen it. So we're going to be cautious. You know what I mean? It's like going swimming and you jump into an outdoor pool and you know it's freezing cold. The next time you go, you're a bit hesitant to get in because you know it's cold. So you're thinking, I'm not going to jump in there. This is what I'm saying with Arteta. He's made us feel like that. And until it's actually we're in March, come March, and we're like 10 points clear, then I can start thinking, well, yeah, okay, pretty safe now. But until then, after 9 games, when you've only scored 5 goals in open play, that's worrying. That is worrying. So
you see, DJ. Sorry, but these guys that you were saying that they think we're negative, it's because they believe his lies. You know, when he says we have the most points in 3 years, they believe him when it's a lie. When he gets the little snippet release that Martinelli's delighted with his playtime, they believe it. They don't check it out. They believe it. He lied again in the press conference at the weekend. He said he was asked about, does the team with the best defense always win the league? And he said, yeah. They do. Oh, except there's been 3 times when we had the best defense. So out of all the leagues in the world, you know, and then he lied because in 22-23 we let in 10 more than Man City.
Exactly.
We let in 10 more than Man City, and Man United let in the same. Man United let in the same.
They grasp onto everything he says, Shane. He's gospel.
He's lying though, DJ, and they believe him.
Exactly.
You see, and then they go, "Well, everything's perfect." That's why he's a cult leader. So they believe all of the lies that he tells. And then when he has a stupid stat like most goals in a calendar year, they prattle on about that all the time, and you go, "I don't care. I do not care." And they ruin everything. They ruin everything. Oh, well, we're doing really well defensively. Yeah, you know what? Now I'll even say that we have the best defense in the world. Oh, we're going to beat Chelsea's record. Why do you have to get make everything so
exactly,
grotesque?
man.
And, you know, everything's over the top. It's all over the top. And then they don't look at the fact that we have 5 goals from open play, and they go, "You keep saying that because it's not sustainable." They were the ones saying that Liverpool's last minute goals weren't sustainable. They kept telling us that, and they were right. Because they were looking at another team, they can say it. Yeah. Now, if we were in Liverpool's position and they were top and they'd only scored 5, every top gooner under the sun would be saying they will get found out because you can't only score 5 goals from open play. You can't depend on set pieces. It's never going to last. When we're doing it, Mikel Arteta's reinvented the wheel. He's discovered that you can score from set pieces. You know what I mean?
Another narrative now with Gyökeres, because Gyökeres ain't scoring goals. It's like, oh, yeah, but look what he does for the team. He frees up Saka and he frees up this one and he frees up that one. Well, if that's the case, then why ain't they scoring goals? If he's freeing up all these players and creating space for everyone, why ain't they scoring goals then?
Oh, you see, I was told that he gets 5 players marking him, DJ.
Yeah, and another thing, right? I never wanted a number 9 to free up space for everyone else. I wanted a number 9 to score goals.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it for years. That's why I wanted a number 9, not to free up Saka, not to let Trossard have a free roll. I wanted a number 9 at this football club to score fucking goals.
Yeah. No one was saying for the last 3 years. No one was saying in the last 3 years, you know, if only we had a striker that just ran around and helped the team. No one was saying that.
No one was saying it.
We've got 2 idiots that do that already on 280 grand a week and 265. One's never fit and the other one's shit.
I mean, exactly. No one was saying, "Oh yeah, we need a number 9 to free up Saka." No one was saying it.
Ridiculous.
And now he's at the club and he ain't scoring. Yeah, but look what he does. Look what he creates for everyone else. Havertz was creating for everyone else.
If what is he creating? 5 open goals.
This is what I'm saying, Norms. If he is creating for everyone else, why ain't they scoring?
Yeah, facts.
Timber's like second joint top goal scorer. I mean, what are we doing here? Look, Timber's got 2 goals. He's one behind Gyökeres.
Ridiculous.
And 1 assist, which means he's got better GA than Saka for all the GA merchants. What are we doing? I mean, that's just Timber being excellent, but I mean, come on, man. Saka, you're playing in front of him for fuck's sake.
This is just exposing what we are at the moment. This stats. It's in. I was going to say it's in black and white. It's in blue, red. It's in blue, red, and black. Yeah,
exactly.
That's how our players' legs look, man.
But another thing that could have even gone ugly, right? When that team was picked on Saturday, everyone was saying, "Why ain't Martinelli playing?"
Yep, that was insane.
Right? Martinelli balled out against Atleti, right, and he's been in form, right? And suddenly he put Trossard in. Everyone was saying, "Why ain't Martinelli playing? Why ain't Martinelli playing?" But again, he got away with it. He got away with it Saturday. But if we'd have drawn that or lost that, these are the questions that wouldn't have been asked. No one would have said, "Why did you drop Martinelli in the press conference?" Do you know what I mean? It would have been, Saka had a virus and Rice was playing with a knock and, the injuries and Saka weren't fully fit and blah, blah, that. No one would have asked him about, well, why did you drop Trossard? Why did you drop Martinelli after he played so well against Atletico?
They wouldn't have asked him anyway, DJ.
No, exactly.
But when he couldn't hit a barn door last season and we were all calling for his head, he kept playing him, relentlessly playing him. When Martinelli was in the worst form of his life and everybody was saying he should drop him, then he played him. because he goes against what everybody says to prove a point.
Yeah, I
He's
know,
a little
it's crazy.
Napoleon.
Yeah.
I just got
Look,
I'll be back in 2 secs,
Yeah,
guys.
go on, mate.
Yeah, man.
We've got 2 games next against promoted teams, albeit away. Is this a good little opportunity just for them two promoted teams, just for them 2 games? Have we got Gyökeres and Eze's and all of that? Is this a good opportunity for them to start finding their feet? Bit of rhythm, Bako, Saka.
Yeah,
Gotta
but
be done, innit?
We can say
Saka's
yes is
well
an opportunity. We can say yes is an opportunity. It's whether Arteta gives them that opportunity.
Yeah, well, we played the same tactics. The thing is, these are the 2 games left of the 5 that I said we have to win.
That's right. Yeah.
Then we can start looking at, okay, now, and then I did say after that, then you look at the next 5 and you go, right, let's win them, because this is what you have to do. But if we look down the bottom, we have Villa, and then we have Villa again 3 days later, and they're on the same form as us. They've drawn and won their last 4, and won their last 4. You know what I mean? So they're right up there if you look at their form.
Indeed.
Same form as us, exact same. And we know what Emery does to this guy, man. He ties him up in knots, right? And that's December. So again, we're looking ahead. Oh, why can't you just enjoy? Right, fine. I'm so sick and tired of people saying, just enjoy. Yeah, I will, right? You know what I mean? Like I said, I did after the Atletico game, the best I felt in about 2.5 years. Then I went online and I saw we're the best team in the world, we're best this, and I was like, oh, you fucking ruined it already. You've ruined it already for me. You know what I mean? I've no problem with people being positive in life, but hyper positivity is dangerous. Hyper positivity is, do you know what? Walk down that street, daughter, you know, it's actually, if they're fine, these people, you know, and something happens to her and you go, oh, well, you have to know that there's things wrong in the world. And we are looking at a team that has scored 5 goals from open play and going, we'll be all right. Set pieces, man. You know what I mean? It's not. They're not even like it's direct free kicks. It's not like we have David Beckham and we're thinking, you know, we can score a few free kicks here and there. Declan Rice at the moment, his delivery from set pieces is in corners and free kicks in and around that area. He has to be right up there as the most consistent in the world as well. You know, I'll say that for him.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's all down to practice. It's all down to practice. That wasn't a God-given gift for him. You know that he's staying back in training and just whipping in 100 corners in a row to get that technique, because that's the type of player he is. So, like we said, if he drops at any point for 3 weeks or more, and we lose the set pieces, and Zubimendi suddenly has the arse will come out of his trousers, because he has to know deep down that he is getting covered by this guy. He's on the pitch with him. He knows it's happening. Again, when Odegaard comes back. But those 2 matches, Aaron, as you said, Sunderland away is rough. It is rough. You know, they have, I think they've only let in 7. You know what I mean? Which is insane for a newly promoted team, and big up to them. Tottenham at home, we normally do them, but they've been better away from home than they have been at home. They've only got 4 points at home. I think it's their away form is carrying them. Chelsea away is always rough. Always, yeah. Brentford have had the better of us many a time. And then we go into the Villas. So we were saying the same about Fulham. We beat them. So credit where credit's due. We were saying the same about Palace. That's tricky. We beat them. We were saying the same about Newcastle away, and we beat them. But all of those games I've mentioned were won. But every single goal in those games was a set piece. Every single one of them was a set piece. So they will dry up. Set pieces, no matter how good you are. Like I said, United used to have Beckham. They used to be dangerous in corners. But they could have gone 10 games without scoring from a corner. Even with Beckham's delivery, who to me is the greatest corner taker that's ever lived. You know what I mean? He was able to put it on a sixpence every time. So you do have to look at it.
The box.
Unbelievable. He could find anyone. And with the pace he whipped them in at, you know, he was unbelievable. So it's an old cliche, but it's a game at a time. You know, it is a game at a time. Yeah. Beat Burnley, have a look. But on the flip side, if we go out to Brighton on Wednesday, that can set a wobble. You know, it can set a wobble. I want us to make. I put up a team on with the show me and Rashid did, and it was basically 10 changes. Right, it was 10 changes. I want to see this because I've been told all through the summer that our second 11 would finish in the top 6. Right, that's what I got told all summer. So I want him to not only make all those changes, but make them and win, because we have to remember that Brighton will make minimum 6-7 changes as well, which is crazy, by the way. Teams like Brighton should laser focus on the League Cup and say, I want to win this. But they will make changes. It's what Brighton do. So if we were to go out of that, it's 20 tournaments in a row that he's failed in. You cross it off, 20 tournaments in a row. For me, that League Cup could be the difference between winning the league and not. If you win that in March and you suddenly get, right now we can do it, and they push on and you win. We've gone through it before. Aaron Mourinho, Alex Ferguson, all these guys, Pep Guardiola, they won the League Cup and they went on. They weren't all as good as Arsenal coming in and winning a double. You know what I mean? Not many managers can do that. But he had Glenn Helder, so well he didn't at that stage. But so we so if we go into this having lost to Brighton, it could be trickier. It could be trickier, but it's one game at a time. A lot of people are talking like we're 15 points clear. A lot of people are talking like City have lost 4 in a row like Liverpool. They run a 9-game unbeaten run before that. And Villa are right in form. That Villa away game, I underestimated it because I hadn't really clocked the form Villa were in. And I had Villa up and around 4th or 5th at the start of the season. Everybody laughed at me. And they will be right up there again. Emery's a genius, man. They're going to shoot right up that table. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, at one point they were sitting like above the 17th and that. So everybody
3 points off second.
Oh, yeah.
Now there you go. Like it's
4 wins.
That's the difference, isn't it?
4 wins in a row, and to do it against City as well, and kept them at bay. Do you know what I mean? I know Haaland had a goal disallowed, but look, at the end of the day, as you say, Shane, we have to take it game by game. But I think we have to find another way to win. We just can't keep doing this same thing. So if we go to Bournemouth, I want to see a performance where because our away form is good, but I want to see a performance like Bournemouth. Yeah, they had the best defensive record like last season in the Championship. But we've got to take the game to them. We've got better players than them. Yes, respect them. I'm not saying just go there and think, it's only Burnley. Sunderland, they play quite expansive, but at the same time, that probably allows more room. But we have to play the football in order to beat these things. I don't want to go there. It's another set piece. Listen, it sounds contradictory because if we win that game, we're going to be yay. But it's like, oh my God, are we going to keep doing this? When will it kind of stop? Kind of thing. It's like when we went 49 games unbeaten, and it's inevitable that at some point we're going to lose a game. It's like, oh my God, when will it be? And it just happens to be against Man United. Obviously, Wayne Rooney cheated, but who cares? But you know what I mean? It's one of those things where you're thinking to yourself, can we keep this up? Because we're on a run right now. Let's go and beat Burnley convincingly. Because the thing is, every time Liverpool drop off, listen, they've got a tough game against Aston Villa. Then they go away to Man City. What we've done so far this season is every time that Man City, especially Liverpool, have dropped points, we've capitalised on that. We've had the mentality to do that. And we need to continue to do that. But at the same time, let's see some good football alongside it. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that will give us a little bit more confidence. It'll give the team a little bit more confidence and stuff like that. And then, as I say, chucked in between that, we've got the Brighton Carabao Cup at home. Now, I'm a little bit dubious about that game. I'm a little bit worried with all the changes. But if we've got the best squad in the league, then playing at home, we should beat Brighton. But there's a certain man called Danny Welbeck. So,
Do you know the home game against Brighton? I think people are disrespecting and not realising how key that is.
Yeah, it's massive.
Because you've got to look at it from a point of view that this football club haven't won a trophy. These players,
but you still have to make the changes, though, DJ, don't you? You still have to make the changes.
You have to make the changes, 100%. You have to make the changes. But as a squad collectively, no matter who comes in, whatever 11 starts, they're fully aware that the football club hasn't won a trophy. And collectively, a lot of those players that have played together have not tasted success. So if we go out on Wednesday against Brighton, that could be a psychological kind of kick in the teeth. And it's how we react after that. Because they're going to think, well, hang on a minute, that's another trophy we're down now. Now we've got three to play for, And mentally, when you've been finishing runners up and you've been losing semi-finals and going out of cups, that can really, really change your way of thinking if you get knocked out Wednesday. So Brighton's a really, really tough game. That's going to be a really important game. I think out of all that, the tricky game, because Arsenal are prepared for Spurs, it's a North London derby, they're up for it. They're fully aware. Chelsea away, another tough one. I think the toughest game is going to be Sunderland away. Sunderland's home form is unreal. And they're relying on that home. And they're relying on that home form to stay in the Premiership. So, and it's a 5:30 kickoff. It's going to be a packed stadium. they're unknown to Arsenal. And them sort of players and that stadium is unknown to a lot of these Arsenal players. I mean, man like Zubamendi's going to have. You think he loses possession against Crystal Palace? You watch how many times he loses possession against Sunderland. Yeah, and if Rice is not fit or fully fit, and he's thrown in there, then I think Sunderland's the tricky one. But that Brighton game, if we get knocked, if we get knocked out Wednesday, a lot of them players will be going, "Oh, here we go again. It's happening again."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
see,
don't
they
know
don't
how
throw
that-
it away.
And Norm's touched on it with the Invincibles. When we lost to United that game at Old Trafford, the next game at home to Southampton, it took a Van Persie last minute goal to equalise to make it 2-2.
Yeah.
We were rocking. We were just shaky. So if we let in like 2 goals in a game and then they realise they're not invincible, they start the defence will start to wobble. If we don't score from a set piece and draw 0-0, they go, oh God, and these are the things that get in your head. And someone was saying to me in my chat that, oh well, we're learning every time we bottle it. No, that's not how it works. Every time you bottle it, it gets worse. Because as soon as you start to lose a game and you go, oh God, they're coming for me, it's happening again. And I keep likening it to when you play pool. I like to play with a pool. If you miss the win in black and it jangles in the pocket and the other guy pots it, the next time you're on the black, you start overthinking it and you're chalking your cue an extra second and the pocket shrinks and the ball grows and then you miss it again and it's in your head. So it needs to get over the line. And that's the thing. And people don't seem to realize it. So if these things dry up, and the funny thing is as well, like, I'm saying that he needs to change 10 players. Say, I'd leave Eze in. The only one I'd leave in. I'd change everybody else. And, I'd even put Gyökeres on the bench. And everyone's saying he needs a goal. I'd rather bring him on when the game's stretched and let him get a goal that way. But he's played too many minutes. But, if we start to wobble, people don't seem to realise. Like, I want to see, I keep saying those 5 players, I don't want to see them anywhere near the pitch against Brighton. You need Saka and all out. Take them out of the team. Change the 3 defenders. You can play Calafiori if you want. All of that stuff. Just take them out. But the thing is then, if Ben White plays and breaks down injured, like, we know he can, then Timber is under pressure to stay fit for the whole season. So it's a bit of a flip. You don't know. So these things are all sort of related. You get one injury, then another guy has to play extra minutes. He gets injured, and we can see that Saka's in the red, that Rice is in the red. Gabriel was injured before. He hadn't trained before the game of the weekend. Now, he was a mammoth in that game, by the way, against Palace, but that's what he does. Saliba went off injured. So all of these things are linked. One of them gets injured. The other one has to do a bit extra, and it can change very quickly. So that's the only reason that we're saying, like, just don't get carried away. And as DJ said, the record is there of this guy blowing it. You know what I mean? So even if he wins the league, he's still on fraud watch for me. He needs to win several more because 2 trophies in 7 years is not good enough. But we'll see how it goes. It's the PTSD, isn't it, of this manager? Yeah,
100%. And again, just as well, bringing up these 2 fixtures, and of course, we're talking about Sunderland. If you move to the right of that fixture, you got Man City v Liverpool. And what Normski, I think, was saying is, and I've said plenty of times, we've all said it, last year, when we were playing first or Liverpool played first, we never capitalised and we never put pressure on. This year, we've been actually doing that. And this is a great opportunity for us to hopefully spank Burnley. I know, game by game. Then you get Sunderland, that's a Saturday for our 5 kickoff. You've got a fantastic opportunity to put real pressure and daylight in front of one of them, because one of them inevitably will drop points. I know we've still got to do our job. Of course, we've got to do our job. But there is a good opportunity there to really put some distance between. If they draw, you could be looking at, 9 and 8 points ahead.
Yeah.
You've just got to get that job done. And I'm not taking Sunderland for granted absolutely whatsoever. They've been phenomenal, especially at home. But they're the opportunities that you've got to take, and if we win them 2 games, that's 6 for 6. You're looking and you're trying to see where your next win's coming from. Spurs at home, yes, surely. Then you're looking at every team as that run, didn't they, when they win the Premier League? Every team. And granted, after the Sunderland game, we have got a couple of tricky fixtures there to negotiate. But we've got just a fantastic opportunity to put a bit of daylight in front of these boys. And I hope we do it, man. I absolutely hope we do it. It's a fantastic opportunity. But I will just quickly read out some super chats. And big up to the chat as well, man. Don't forget to smash that like button. Sub to the lads. All of their links are pinned. So if you don't want to smash a like on the stream for me, make sure you go and sub to them. We've got Suge. Actually, let me read out this one from Joe and go to Suge because there's a question there. Big up, Joseph, brother. Always here, man. Happy birthday to the legend. Yeah, big up, man. It's still my birthday for an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh,
So,
didn't know.
yeah.
Happy birthday. Didn't know that, mate. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
Happy
36
birthday.
today.
I thought you'd be
36
out
today.
whining and dining with a mission. I mean, what's going on? I mean, you've been whining and dining.
We've done all of that over the weekend. You know what I mean? We've done all of that.
Aaron, look
Which is a
behind you.
nice
There's somebody with a frying pan behind you.
Mate, I've had worse than a fucking frying pan, I'm telling you. You know what I mean? I'll take that and all, but big up, man. Big up. Hope you're keeping well. Yeah, I'm all good, man. And you're saying as well, Gyökeres and Saka and Trossard weren't really involved, to be honest. Eze was okay. Yeah, he was all right. He was anonymous, wasn't he, before the goal, really? But that's all we want from Eze, Joe. I think until he settles into this Arsenal team and gets used to Mikel's vulgar tactics, that probably completely eliminate all of his abilities. We just need to see moments from Eze, man. We need them little moments from Eze, like Man City, that lovely pass, and obviously scoring a winner. I just don't think we'll see the best of him this season, that's for sure. But if he can just keep giving frequent moments, I'll take it. But big up to you, Joe, man. What a geezer. He's a legend, supports all the channels, man, and we all double respect you. And we've got Suge. Question. Are we actually playing good football, or are the other teams been poor? Or is it a bit of both? By the way, happy birthday, you 4'2", dirty so-and-so. I'm not going to read that word out, but thank you very much. Respect. Just letting everyone know I'm on no register whatsoever. Suge is talking absolute shizer. I'm not reading that fucking word out, you sausage. But who wants to take that quickly before we move on to my next topic? Are we playing good football? No.
I wouldn't say we're playing good football. What is it? We're playing sort of yeah, I mean it's not free flowing, lovely, pretty football, but we're just hard to beat. We defensively we're good. Yeah, it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both, isn't it? Liverpool fallen off, they're not really playing well. City are not playing well, but other teams are. You know, Bournemouth are playing well. Hats off to them. You know, Sunderland was sitting sixth, and listen, Spurs are lurking around. You know, Spurs are lurking around. They're not going to be the Spurs that we played last season. So Villa are playing some good football. So sometimes you have to look beyond the Man City and Liverpool's, but it's a little bit of both. You know, we're getting the job done. We're efficient. That's what I'm looking for. We're efficiently doing the job, not attractively, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, facts. By the way, people, someone mentioned there was a cheeky little mutant in the chat. I can't find where he is. I haven't scrolled up high enough, but that does tie me in nicely to my next subject. And I was interested in getting the panel's thoughts on this. So today I scoured through the cesspool that is X, and I see the toppest of mutants, Tom Canton, posting, this was about 3 hours ago now, maybe 2 hours ago. If Liverpool and or Manchester City fail to win the Premier League this season, it should go down as one of the biggest failures in the division's history. Around 400 mil spent each in 2025 on players, approximately 100 million plus more than Arsenal Football Club. What an absolute load of fucking shite. And I'll tell you why, everyone, because I had done this straight after. This gives you the last 5 years, so 4 full seasons, 5 summer transfer windows of the net spend of each club. And it's just so happens, it's funny, we spent more than everyone this year on net spend, hilarious. And in total, over these last 5 summers, we have spent more than everyone else in the league as well. And also, I thought I'd like to add, just for the context, in this time frame, we've won fuck all. Chelsea have won 2, Liverpool won 4, City have won 8, United have won 2. Come on, man. Newcastle, Palace, Spurs, and West Ham have even won a fucking trophy. So you're going to sit here with this nonsense and say to me that should go down as the biggest failures in history? Since that, what you're fucking waffling on about, Mr. Tom, City have won 4 in a row, Champions Leagues. What are we fucking doing here?
Triples.
Yeah, but he's also said,
it's just
he's also said in 2025, just so he can add in the January transfer windows, because in the summer we spent more than City.
100%. But it's all here. It's all here. 25, 26, our net spend. Because Manchester City have sold, Chelsea have sold, Liverpool sold very, very, very well. And I don't know how well you can see the numbers here, gents. So I'll quickly zoom in for anyone that can't. We have spent net spend more than everyone this season. His little glorious 25, we've spent more than everyone net spend. I don't know what he's talking about. And guess what? Total, more than everyone in the last 5 summers. And that's what we've got in on that right-hand side. Nothing. Absolutely nada. What are we talking about here, DJB, man? Let's go back out here.
Interesting.
This is the kind of vulgar lies that is constantly being told. And this is why our fan base is so bad. Because they'll sit and listen to this and go, yeah, actually, yeah, it is an absolute failure on Liverpool and Man City. All he's doing there is just making sure that he softens the blow if Arsenal fuck it up again. That's all he's doing there. What do you reckon, DJB? And what do you reckon on these numbers as well that I've compiled for the nonsense that he's fucking spitting?
Exactly. Just nonsense, isn't it? Just nonsense.
Yeah.
We all know our net spend is woeful. We all know we can't sell players and we buy players for silly money and put them on astronomical wages. But apparently they want to come to the club to play for Arteta. They don't want to come to the club to go from 20 grand a week to like 80 grand a week. And then if they score a couple of goals during the season and win nothing, they then jump up to about 150 grand a week. Yeah. I mean, come on. Martinelli's won nothing. Trossard's won nothing. 2 players that we wanted to get rid of in the summer. So what do? We give them a fucking wage rise. An astronomical wage rise. And then next year, when they don't do the business, we can't get rid of them because no one wants to buy them.
Facts.
So the only failure would be Arteta, because Arteta's been the failure. He's had 6 years and spent over £1 billion. He's wasted 700 odd million pound of that. It's only it's only this season where the signings have been okay. And why is that? Oh yeah, Berta walked through the door, didn't he? Got him out of shit. Berta has saved Arteta this season, because if Berta wasn't at this football club, you'd have been having the madness that you've been having to put up with for the last 6 years. Pablo Maris and all of this. Sambi Lokongas. So, listen, Tom Canton says that because that's what he does. That's how he gets in the press box. He's job saving, because he knows that if anything happens to this manager, he ain't got a job next season in the Arsenal press box. Simple as that, because the next manager ain't going to have a dickhead like Tom Canton in there, that's for sure. Right? And at the end of the day, the biggest failure would be if Arsenal Football Club don't win a significant trophy. When you've been in place for 6 years and you've built a team and you've had over £1 billion spent and you've won the same amount of trophies as Crystal Palace. Oh, where are Crystal Palace on? Oh, look. And you've won the same amount of trophies of Crystal Palace. That's failure. Right now is failure. Until he wins something, it's failure. Not sitting at the top, not breaking clean sheet records, not, having the best record, not losing at the top 6 and all of this madness, not breaking silly little records. Unless he wins a trophy this season, it's failure. Right now, he's on borrowed time. Simple as that. And at the end of the day, I mean, look at this. Look at it. 25, 26, minus 200. I mean, come on, man.
The most in the division. So I don't know where he gets his numbers from. Obviously, he's not taking into account the net.
And I mean, as I said, look at the wages. Look at the wages. 280, 260 grand a week. Bringing players in at a sort of wages of like 20 grand a week and putting them on 50 grand a week. And then after a year or 2 years failure, he goes up to 150 grand a week. I mean, it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, and then you've got, but this is what they don't want to look at the facts, because we're top of the league and it's all hunky-dory and everything's nice and everything's rosy. Fact of the matter is, if he does win the Premiership and they give this guy another 3 years, That's nearly 10 years, and he's only won 2 trophies.
Mm.
If I said to you, the next manager coming to this football club after Arteta is going to have a 10-year contract, he's going to have over £1 billion spent, and he's going to win 2 trophies, you'd all say, fuck off. I'm not having him. Who's that?
Facts. Yeah, 100%, man.
That's where we are.
Shane, I know Tom and you are quite close now, but what do you
Oh, sorry, Shane. I didn't mean to. Sorry.
I know this might be a hard one for you to answer, Geezer,
Take it
but
back, Shane. Sorry, mate.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, look, it's journalist talk. It's journalist speak. That's what they do. That's why they released the Martinelli quote 3 years afterwards, because it's strategically done. That's why he's worded it in 2025, so you can add in Man City's January spending. You can add in Liverpool's January spending. And these people that say net spend's not important, it's all that matters. In life, net spend is all that matters. If you're a business and you say, oh, we took in £1 million last year, right, but you have 75 employees and you have a lot of fucking materials to come in, how much did you actually make? You could still lose money. Your expenditure could be 1.2 million. So, of course, they twist it. That's what they do. They twist the narrative. All I see is trophies in this time frame. That's all I see. That's it. Zero.
That's why I put it up there.
I see Man United with 2. I see Newcastle. I see Palace with the first trophy in 140 years. I see Spurs and West Ham with trophies. I don't see us with trophies. Oh, but it's not. It's the feels, and it's the I want to be looking forward to a season in the summer. That's more important. Is it? Right, because it's not to me, man. You know what I mean? So it's all twisted. Of course it is. Of course, that's how they do it, man. And if you look at the money spent since he's been in, let's have a just have a look at some of City's players that they brought in. Haaland. You know what I mean? Why don't we talk about that? They brought in Haaland. Liverpool. They brought in Gakpo, and they brought in all these players. McAllister for 35 million. Went on and win a World Cup. Yeah, you know what I mean? We're not bringing in players like that. Like DJB said, we're bringing in Sambi Lakongas and but according to Zippy, Jesus and Zinchenko are 2 of our most important signings. That's what you're dealing with these guys. That is what you were dealing with. Oh, you know, Marino, Arteta deserves credit for how many goals Marino's getting for Spain. You can't take them serious. They all have an agenda. This guy claims he doesn't have an agenda. He does have an agenda. He openly admitted on one of his streams recently, someone put it on to me, that, yeah, his questions are vetted. And he kept backing and forward. Well, they're not vetted, but yeah, they will sort of say, what are you going to ask? And maybe you can't ask that. That's the terminology. That's vetted. Your questions are vetted, mate. You know what I mean? That's why you keep asking them about the atmosphere and giving them reason. Half of the questions in the press conference aren't questions. They're statements for him to just build on. Oh, isn't the atmosphere great? That's not a question. That's just you giving him a chance to big up what he did with the tannoy or big up what he did. Net spend is all that matters. And especially when you take into account the amount of flops that are involved in that, the amount of scrubs that have come in for that money. Havertz, Jesus, fucking Vieira and Sambi Lakonga.
And let them all go for free, Shane.
They're all gone for free. They're all just let go. Tommy Asu rip up his contract. Jesus will have to rip up his contract at some stage. Ben White will have to rip up
Havertz will end up going for free.
Man.
You watch. Havertz will end up going for free. They'll all end up going for free.
Massive wage. You know, Kivior, we ended up letting them go for less. So all of these guys are flops, as well as him spending more and making less. It makes no sense. We could have got money for Aubameyang. We could have got money for Ozil if he hadn't made the falling out public. You know what I mean? So it all comes back to this fraud of a manager. And then add in his fucking wage as well while we're at it. Let's add in his 15.6 million a year on top of that for winning absolutely nothing. Because apart from Pep on that list there, all of those managers are on a hell of a lot less than him. All the ones that have won something. You know what I mean? So I throw in his wage on top of that. I throw in his staff's wage and everything that he's blown. And the amount of players we've lost for less because he wouldn't play Zinchenko for the last 5 games of the season when the league was done, to maybe just put a little few million on his price tag because he's a narcissist and he was obsessed with getting second place that nobody cares about. Oh, we still have a lot to play for. We have the Golden Glove to play for. This is the manager we're dealing with that will come out and say shit like that. So yeah, you look at the spend. These Cantons and these Zippies, yeah, we'll call them out on their shit because it's funny and it infuriating in equal measures, but anyone that takes them seriously, I mean, come on, man. Really? Are you gonna get your football advice from Tom Canton and Zippy and Babs? You know what I mean? Babs is just all he is an ASMR merchant. That's it. People just listen to him to go to sleep. That's all he's done. He just happens to talk about football. He could be talking about, you know, the difference between spoons and forks. It may as well be for what he's talking about. So, I mean, these guys aren't football experts. They're clowns who never got picked in school. The only time Zippy headed the ball in school was when it was kicked at his face. So when you look at, this here, the expenditure, that's all that matters is net spend, and that's it. And yeah, it's all a fraud. They all do it on purpose, man. They all do it on purpose, and I just don't pay attention to them. Sadly, people do, but that's their problem, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, no, mate, absolutely smashed it. Norms, before we wrap up, you got anything to add on to this, my brother?
No, just to say 5 things we've learned from spoons. You could stir tea with it. You could flick.
Yeah.
There's so many different things. But anyway,
the spork was invented from them too.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, that's what Arteta does to the sharp knives. He turns them into spork.
But I mean, look, when you hear, things like this, and you ask the question, he asked the question of that, or made a statement that this is an absolute disaster, or whatever the actual quote was. Now, the thing is, last season, when Liverpool didn't spend any money, well, it'd be interesting to know what he had to say. I can tell you what he probably would have said is that Liverpool were lucky.
And he inherited a team.
He inherited a team. They've got the best team in the world. So what do you expect? We didn't spend as much money as them. The PGMOL was on their side. There'll be a number of excuses. Yeah. The fact that this guy can come out and say this, that's why, I have to go in the matrix every now and again. I used to collect a lot of receipts and send them over to Shane to
You need to start again, Norms, because I got out of it.
I know, bro. It's just been one of these hectic mad couple of weeks. But it's just crazy that he would say this. The agenda here is that one, you soften the blow. You soften the blow because if we do not go on and win the league this season, then he's going to say Man City or Liverpool spent the money and that's why they won the league. Arsenal couldn't compete with them. But at the moment, as it stands, we're competing. We're the best team in the world and all of that. So for him to come up with that statement, and you look on the right column, in the 5 years, net spend, we spent the most. We don't sell well. But you look at the trophy cabinet, and I see one big fat 0 in our column. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City on 8. Listen, Man City,
and they've reached finals as well.
Man City could take a year out. Yeah, Man City could take a year out, which they did last season. Yeah, because they've got what's the word I'm looking for? They've got what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Help me out. My brain's going.
Credit in the bank.
Credit in the bank. And we've never had credit in the bank. Yeah. The only credit in the bank we have is it's called excuses for this manager. We want to protect this manager at all, not we, but those top gooners and these journalists, they need to protect their jobs. And this is journalist talk, as simple as. That's literally what it is. Yeah, he can't believe he can't believe even what he's writing. He can't believe what he's actually writing. So for me, at the end of the day, if we don't win the league this season or win the Champions League or whatever, with the best squad in the league, the amount of money we spent, then it is an absolute failure on Mikel Arteta's fault. Because after 6 years, with $1.2 billion to be precise, spent, got no excuses. Got no excuse whatsoever.
Norms, I'm gonna come in on that about failure. I think if we don't win at least 2 trophies this season with the squad we've got and the money spent, is failure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them's got to be one of the big boys.
I'm expecting at least 1 big trophy and a domestic. I'm expecting some sort of double. Because if everyone wants to make accusations like this, and if everyone wants to say that he's the second best manager in the world, if you are prepared to put your neck out and say such crap, then law of averages, we should win all the trophies.
Yep.
You've got the best team in the world and the best manager,
That's what
Pep's
Sutcliffe
fallen
said.
off a cliff, so therefore you've got the best manager. By making those statements, we should win everything. We should go and win the Carabao Cup. We should go and win the FA Cup, Champions League, everything.
Mhm.
But the facts of the matter, we
Well,
ain't doing it.
Sutcliffe said that we're the best team in the world. In the same breath, he said, "But I don't think we'll win the Champions League." Make it make
There you
sense.
go.
Do you know when you're the best
how are
team
you
in
not
the
best team
world?
in the world, then?
Yeah, you can be one of the best teams and win the Champions League and then win a domestic cup and miss out on your league because you had to put all of your eggs in
Yeah.
the Champions League. You can be a very, very good team.
Yeah.
The best team in the world are like Pep Guardiola's Barcelona that won all 6, or Hansi Flick's Bayern that won all
Yeah.
6. That's the best team in the world. They win everything because
you
they're the best
can't-
team in the world. So do
but-
not make these statements and then say, "Oh, well, if we don't win it, give him another year." Because if this manager can't win a couple of trophies with the best team in the world, then he's an absolute failure, like
But Shane,
an unmitigated failure.
And at the end of the day, Shane, if you're saying that we've got one of the best teams in the world and the best team in Europe, then minimum you should be winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Minimum.
Also, for him, DJB, why is he not backing his team? I mean, he's missed a positive. If he thinks they're the best team in the world, why is he not backing them? That's really
Yeah,
negative.
that's negative, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
like exactly.
Really negative. But what
But
we're going to do, boys, we're
mate.
going to wrap up here. We're
Big
going to
up,
rate
Aaron.
for Lee as well. So make sure you go over there and give him a sub and a like on his stream. We'll be over there very, very soon. Until then, been an absolute pleasure as always, boys. I love these shows. Legend to DJB. Big up to Shane, of course, and big up to Normski. You know where to go tomorrow morning at 10:30. Come on, it's the full Irish, the full fucking Irish. Get your asses there at 10:30 tomorrow. We're gonna go over to Lee now. Big up to the world class chat. Yes, I can see your things, see more butts. Big up to you. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. COYG, Arteta out.
Big up.
Boom.